Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Consortium. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Guys, I'm super stoked about this video tonight, right? It is, if you guys saw earlier today, the devs released a video on YouTube talking about the future of the game, more particular the near future, the end of August, early September update they're going to do that's supposed to bring new weapons, a new game mode, and some, tweaks and fixes to the game. But in particular, they referenced the new game mode, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. The game mode they're bringing into the game is survival. And this is something I think everybody kind of expected in the game to begin with. I guess it wasn't ready, but I'm stoked that they're bringing it so soon into the early access. And they talked about it a little bit, so that's what I want to go over. First thing they said is obviously it's going to be a survival mode. You are going to have to scavenge during the day and defend at night, which is what the game was originally marketed as. I know I read the other day, I don't remember what the website was, but it was basically talking about the game from about a year and a half ago, and that was literally the description of the game was scavenge during the day, defend at night. And that's exactly what the devs said this was going to be. They also mentioned that during that process, you're also going to have other objectives that you're supposed to do. So I'm assuming it's going to be, like rescuing survivors, or they're going to have other stuff built in there so you're not just defending. It's not going to feel like, 5 hours of doing a repair the shelter mission or something. So I'm excited about that. They mentioned that it is not going to be completely finished when they first release it, though. His description was if it's going to be a final release at 1.0, they're at a 0.3 right now. So don't expect it to be perfect when it first comes out. And they did, on with that, they talked how they wanted all the early access players to give them feedback. They kind of want us to basically tell them, what do we want changed? How do we want it made better? So they're kind of looking to us to help them make this game mode like the best game mode it can be, right? So it can last up to 14 in-game days, guys. That equates to about 3.5 to 4 hours. So to be able to get through the full defense, it's gonna take you a long time, which I'm stoked about because I've always loved like the old school zombies. Obviously, it's not going to be the same. There is like a finite end. It's not just until you die, but it can last up to 14 days. They expect it to be very hard, is what they said. The only thing that I wasn't clear about there is, does that mean to be able to beat the full 14 days, are we going to need to be, close to the highest level in the game? Or is it going to scale? Because we obviously know that they've talked about how such a small minority of the game has even made it to Canny Valley, which means you're not going to have high-level players when this is first released. So that'll be interesting to see how they handle that. They did say it'll take like a good cohesive squad, so you're going to have to play with, I don't think you're going to be able to do some random matchmaking and make it the whole way unless you're just phenomenal players, which is possible. Let's see, what else did they say? So that's about it, what they said on it, but I want to give a few opinions on it. I think it's a great idea. I'm glad that it's coming out by the end of this month, because they do need to add some more content to the game, especially with Canny Valley being so lacking right now. Again, like, it sounds like the game was originally marketed as, which I'm stoked because that's what got me into the game to begin with. The one thing that I'm worried about is I hope the rewards are worth it, because I feel like this game they're very underwhelming when it comes to certain rewards. Like when you have to do the survivor squads that go out and do the missions for you, you barely get anything for those. I don't know, just some of the missions, it seems underwhelming. So I really hope what they give you is worth everything that you put into it, especially if you finish the whole 14 nights, which that's a long time to put into a game. And as a random tidbit, guys, Fortnite means 14 nights. That's where the whole idea comes from. So literally the name of the game means 14 nights. So that shows you that they had this game mode in mind for a while, obviously. Or maybe it was intended to be the original game. Who knows? Point is, it's coming, right? I hope the objectives that they make you go for during the defense are something new. I hope that it's not just stuff that we've already seen in the game. I know they will have some of that repeating because they've already done it. It'd be stupid not to use it. but I really hope they have some new interesting objectives in the game, so that way we have something like to kind of make it feel fresh, and it doesn't, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't feel like 4 hours of doing a repair the shelter mission where you just have waves and waves and you're not really doing anything different. So I'm stoked about that. Maybe to mix that up, they could add something where you could get like a stationary turret you could operate, or maybe activatable traps, so it's not just your traps going off. You can kind of set up some real traps and activate them when you need to, kind of thing. Those are some ideas, but again, that's the new game mode coming, guys. I'm super stoked about it. One reason I'm stoked about it is it gives us like something you can replay and over that just aren't these missions. If any of you guys want to run it, definitely feel free to drop your names down below and I'll add you. And when this patch drops, we'll go into some games. Or if you want to add me, I am the Consortium on Epic Games. And I appreciate you guys stopping by the video. I really hope you guys are liking the content. If you're not liking it, please feel free to let me know what I can do better to make some better content for you guys. And I appreciate all of you, and I hope you all have a good one.